Hello there and welcome back to another video. My name is Lainey Jean if you are new here, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. Today we are going to be talking about plastic-free swaps to be more eco-friendly. I think something really important to point out before we get into the meat of this video is that a huge part of my channel and kind of why I started to approach this space publicly online is because I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be perfect when switching over to a more eco-friendly, zero-waste lifestyle. My page is not about being perfect. I personally believe that sustainability should be sustainable for the person that is doing it. So if your actions are considered smaller than other people who are presenting it online or in real life along with you, you don't have to feel like your actions are not holding impacts, because any small change is good change. We need all the change that we can get, and it's counterproductive, in my opinion, to discredit efforts of other people, even if it isn't as big or productive as what someone else may be doing. And a big reminder before we start, a little disclaimer, I guess, if you will, I truly believe that at the core of sustainability and efforts to help our planet start within our government, and taking actions to set rules and regulations for companies to follow so that they cannot cause so much damage to our planet. But that doesn't mean that we can't do our part as individuals as well. Okay, we're gonna get right into the video, starting off strong with replacing plastic cups with reusable glass, ceramic, and stainless steel. I think this is a very easy swap that has been marketed to us for a while because it is something that you can carry with you pretty much everywhere you go. It can be hard to get into the habit of, when you are out and about, always making sure you have a reusable cup or glass or something with you. But something I've been doing personally is carrying around a jar with a lid, like a reused jam jar or honey jar or something that has a lid that I can carry water in, but then if I go to a cafe, I can have them fill it up with my coffee. I've been loving seeing small companies making ceramic tumblers and cups, so I want to highlight a few of those. By Felicia is making really fun, interesting face designs on different mugs and cups and ceramic pieces. Haley Potter also does a lot of work with cups and tumblers that have really cool designs. I think these ones really lean into like nature, like fish and mountains and flowers, which I think is really cool and fun. She also does some work for mugs and what are they called? Fruit cleaning bowls, like that you can put water, like a ceramic bowl that has holes in it so you can wash your berries. And Jelly Bean Ceramics, who I've been following for probably 2 or 3 years now. She makes some of the most beautiful designs ever in ceramics. They're so fun and whimsical, and I feel like owning one of her pieces would bring a lot of joy to my day-to-day drinking of my morning beverage. I will say personally, I use old jam jars. I'm drinking a coffee right now in a Bon Maman jam jar. I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't speak French. But this is like my go-to. This are honey jars because I use honey in my coffee. I also wanted to show I do have this ceramic cup that I share with my partner. And I had a ceramic tumbler that my cat broke 2 weeks ago that we also shared. So I'm kind of on the lookout for a new ceramic tumbler. I might look at getting one from one of these companies. Otherwise, I'll just stick to using my jars. It's not something that I'm like dying to get. We got our ceramic mug when we were away in upstate New York, and we got it from like a local shop of someone that had like handmade it there in the town that we were in. So it was kind of a meaningful piece to like remember that trip by, that is now broken and had to be thrown away. Another option is stainless steel cups. You can find these on Etsy. There's a lot of different options for these. I know that they even sell them at like camping stores, like just classic vintage stainless steel cups. You could probably find those at a thrift store. I know I've seen those, especially when I'm in Wisconsin. It definitely depends on where you are and what you have access to, but that is something that is easily thriftable. Along with tumblers and just reusable cups in general, checking out your thrift store is a very good option. If you're looking for like coffee mugs, we have so many of those in thrift stores that you could definitely go and thrift a set of them or just one. You don't necessarily have to buy them brand new. Along with pretty much any of these things, if you are purchasing these things for yourself, you can also encourage those around you to try and use them. I think reusable cups are something that everyone can use, whether you drink coffee or you get like other beverages out, it can be really good to kind of encourage them to implement these things themselves. And I think people underestimate the amount of plastic that we do use if we are going to cafes on the regular, even every once in a while. I know I talked recently about the deconstructed latte trend and how people are using like 4+ containers for a single drink. Obviously, most people are not doing that, but even just the plastic cup and a lid can make a big impact if you are swapping away from that and bringing your own cup or using a cup to stay at a cafe, which I do think a lot of cafes are offering right now, or they are offering a bring your own cup discount. I've been seeing at least a lot in New York City. So trying to find cafes that maybe do that kind of system as well could be really helpful. The next plastic-free swap I think I've been doing this just naturally for a very long time because it made more sense to me. It's buying loose produce at the store and at the farmer's market, buying things that aren't pre-packaged in plastic, or when you pick out produce, not putting it in the plastic bags, because if you already have a bag with you that you're going to be putting this stuff in, why do you need another bag to separate them, if that makes sense? I'm personally just I'll pick up the produce and throw it loose in my basket when I'm at the store or at the farmer's market. It's all going into the same place anyways once I check out. I believe it's also better for food safety to not buy pre-packaged, pre-cut vegetables. I'm gonna fact check myself on that, but I have been looking a little bit into that. I do believe it is more recommended to buy not already cut fruits and vegetables. And another option could be buying netted produce bags to put your produce in when you're at the store or after you check out. But that is, again, like another product you would have to buy. So if you're trying to do it without having to buy something, just not using the plastic ones that they offer there in general can be a perfectly fine option. Like I said, I've been doing this for years. I've never had issues with it. It has always been fine. I've never been told by employees that I can't do that. It's easier at checkout because I don't have to try to look through the plastic to see the number on the item you got. I think all around, it's just like a very easy swap that once you get used to it, it makes the most sense. And if you're going to the farmer's market and buying the produce there, you are also getting closer to the source of your produce. You can talk to the farmers there, ask about their practices, feel closer to the food that you are consuming. And like I said, you're supporting a local business, which is a really good practice to get into. It's something I'm trying to get back into the habit of. When I lived in Wisconsin, I did go to a farmer's market quite frequently. And then when I moved to New York, I didn't really feel like I took the time to do the research of what farmer's markets were near me. And so I recently went to a farmer's market here in the city. I've started going to the Union Square one, but there is one near me that is closer to my home. I'm not going to dox where I live, that I will probably check out at some point, and I'll probably make a video about it either for my membership viewers or do little shorts of it on Instagram or YouTube shorts. I guess that's a good time to plug my memberships as well. If you do want more exclusive videos from me that are for membership viewers only, you can go check that out. It's $9.99 for level 2, where you will get a membership only video every month. If you get the level 1 tier, you will get early access to regular main channel videos, which is really cool, along with a bunch of other perks. So feel free to go check that out if you want to. Along with buying loose produce or going to a farmer's market, also buying bulk food when you can, going to local co-op stores, refilling jars you have, and using like reusable bags and stuff to stock up on dry goods or just goods in general at a local co-op can be really important. Again, that's supporting a local business or company. I've seen some co-ops pop up in different cities where they do like a exchange system, like you work in the co-op for a certain amount of hours to like get items from the co-op. I don't know if it's free or if it's like you pay a monthly subscription kind of thing for it, but I think that that's really cool. It makes you more part of the community and more hands-on with your food again, and knowing where it's coming from and being a part of that system, which I think is really cool. Now, everyone's not going to have access to that, but if you can find co-op stores to refill like bulk items, grains or beans or coffee beans, things like that, and getting into the habit of that. This is also something that is new to me. I'm trying to find a co-op store near me, so hopefully I will be able to start doing that, and I'll keep you guys updated, because again, these are just suggestions. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doing every single one of them, but I am trying to implement them when I can. Now, this next one I'm pretty sure all of us can do because we have so many of them, and you know I love to talk about how companies love to give these out for free. It's reusable water bottles. I get that every once in a while people have to buy plastic water bottles. I had to do it when I was in Disney, and I still have it here. I've been using it for like the past week, and I've been refilling it and reusing it. I try to reuse them as much as possible. I know it's not technically great because microplastics start to go in the water, but I'm trying to get as much use out of it as possible before I recycle it. Getting a reusable water bottle that you can take with you and making sure that you clean it properly. That's why I couldn't take mine, because a piece of it has gotten moldy to the point where I can't use it and I need to find a replacement for that part. But I'm trying to find the replacement piece without using Amazon. I'm still working on it. So I have this one plastic water bottle. Otherwise, I've been drinking out of just glass jars, but obviously I was in 100-degree heat in the middle of Disney all week last week, so I needed to have a water bottle with me, and that was my option. Getting reusable water bottles and having like a couple max, like you don't need the insane 100 water bottle collections that I've shown on this channel before. Having like one, maybe a few more than one, depending on like how frequently you are using them, and if you keep them in like a gym bag and in your car, whatever works for your lifestyle in a way that you are going to be able to use them on a constant basis and keep them clean, because we cannot be drinking mold. Let's not be doing that. I have had my fair share of water bottles get moldy because I didn't realize that there were parts of it that I could take apart. So make sure you're taking it completely apart and following the washing instructions. Now I want to move a little bit more into like bathroom products, skincare, hair care, that kind of stuff. And the very first company and products I want to talk about is Chagrin Valley Soap and Salve. They are sponsoring today's video, so thank you to them for sponsoring. I've been testing out their products for a couple weeks now. I took them with me on my trip and tested them out, and I also had the people that were with me on this trip try them out, and everyone loves these products. They perform super well, and I'm very excited to share them with you. So I'm gonna go through the things that I've been trying out by them and kind of my impressions with them and how they've been reacting with me, and a little bit more about the company itself as well. So starting off, I have been telling you guys for a while, I've been wanting to get into using a shampoo bar and conditioner bar. So they have shampoo bars, so I of course decided to try one out. Cocoa butter and olive shampoo bar. I am currently going through the process of my hair getting used to it. The very first use, my hair felt a little bit waxy, which they go through the entire process of that on their website and on their Instagram if you want to know how your hair may react as you're going through the change of liquid soap to a bar. They also do it for their natural soap bar, which I think is really important. They all smell super amazing. It doesn't smell like fragrancy. It does smell very natural, which I appreciate personally. My hair feels very clean after using these. It is definitely less waxy after the 5th or 6th wash with these bars. Along with testing out their shampoo and body bars, I've been testing out their skincare. I have extremely sensitive skin. Y'all know this, so I was a little hesitant, but I was super excited because I feel like natural products react better with my skin. Buttercream cleansing facial wash. This is what I use daily in the morning and night because it's hydrating, but it leaves my skin feeling really clean. I use the facial cleansing oil when I have makeup or a lot of sunscreen on and I need to like really get in there and double cleanse. I'll use this first and then go in with the buttercream. There's the makeup that was on my skin. And then I top it off the whipped squalane face and eye mousse. It's the most airy texture I've probably ever seen in a product. A little bit goes a long ways too. I made the mistake of using too much my very first time. And I was like, I don't even know where to put all this product because it's so hydrating. Like you need very, very little bit. The cocoa butter, I've been using this to deal with my dry skin and it has been absolutely amazing. Getting into kind of the practices, they are very transparent on their website, which I love. I know that they are sponsoring this video, but I'm being completely honest when I say I was shocked with how much time they took to go into detail about all of the decisions they made as a company when it comes to their packaging, ingredients, and the recipes and the formulas, what they decided to use for each individual product, for the packaging, why some of it's paper, some of it has tin caps, some of it is glass, how it impacts the product. They go into detail about a closed loop system, reusing products. So if you want to check them out, I will have them linked in the description so you can go check out their website. If you try any of the products that I recommended in this video, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much to Chagrin Valley Soap and Salve for sponsoring this video. I cannot say enough good things about your products and I'm so excited to keep them in my daily routine. And now that we've talked a bit about like the bathroom situation, I also want to talk about like cleaning products. There's a lot of plastic used, not just in like hair and body care, but also in like general like day-to-day house cleaning products. Some of the best substitutions I have found that I'm looking to try out or that I have tried out are things like dissolvable tablets for multi-purpose cleaners, glass cleaners, being able to have a glass bottle or just a reusable bottle anytime you run out of product instead of having to buy an entire new bottle, being able to put a tablet in there that dissolves in regular water and just it's ready to go. It reduces plastic. It allows you to have more stock taking up less space if that is something that you are worried about. I know a lot of people like Blue Land. They have a lot of different dissolvable products, so I definitely think that they're a pretty reliable source for that. I also also like the Zero Waste store. They have a lot of different reusable and refillable products. Homemade cleaners is an option. I will say if you're doing that, they don't usually actually disinfect. It's more surface cleaning. Doesn't mean it's antibacterial, so you do have to find other solutions to that. Like if you're using vinegar and baking soda, I don't believe that is antibacterial or antiviral, so you have to find something on top of that to use every once in a while to make sure your surfaces are actually being like disinfected from bacteria. Hi, editing, I need to correct myself. White vinegar can kill bacteria, or you can use hydrogen peroxide in like a spray concentrate, but you don't want to mix that with vinegar. So do your own research on that, but homemade cleaners can apparently do the job, which was not what I understood before, but I double checked that, and it seems like it is possible if you are very particular about what cleaners you are using to actually disinfect and not just get rid of grime. Making swaps like bamboo brushes for your dishes, a dish soap bar instead of plastic bottle every time you need dish soap. These can be swaps that actually in the long run save you money and last longer, as well as reducing waste. I will say the bamboo products for your dishes, I've heard people complain that they start to fall apart. Part of sustainable materials is that they should be able to break down. The issue with plastic is that it takes so long to break down that it just sits on our planet for hundreds of years. And when you're using things like bamboo, it is going to, when it is time for you to dispose of it, it is going to kind of deteriorate a little bit. That's going to happen. It is made of a natural material that is going to kind of decompose and start to slowly break down. And that is kind of how you know it is time to replace it. So that's not a bad thing. That is the intended purpose of it. It's not going to last forever, and it's not supposed to last forever. So it's something to keep in mind when you're buying these products. If you're like, oh, why does it not last as long? Well, one, make sure you're like taking care of it properly, but two, these things are going to technically break down as you're using them. Another swap you can make for laundry is plastic-free tablets or tiles. I've used the Loops laundry tiles. They sent those to me, and I've been trying those out for about a month and a half now. Super good, not super fragrant, which I appreciate. I don't need my clothes to really smell super strong. I think a lot of times, at least in the US, we are like told to put scent beads in our laundry and like extra fragrance to make our clothes seem like they're cleaner, when really all you're doing is putting scent on top of it. I don't care if my clothes smell like fresh linen, like as long as they are clean and I can see that they are clean and they don't smell like sweat and dirt, we're good. So Loops has been really good. They're plastic free. They don't take up a lot of space, which is important to me because I live in a small apartment in New York City. My partner also uses them and they've been working just fine. So highly recommend that. I've also tried out Drops. I do want to make one note on the Drops detergent pods. They do use PVOH, which is a water soluble polymer. From my understanding, it doesn't leave behind microplastics. It completely dissolves in water. If anyone has any information regarding that, let me know. From my research, it is still a good option for a like detergent pod compared to like the regular plastic encapsulated kind of pods. I also have dishwasher pods that I really, really enjoyed. They actually gave a deeper clean to our dishes than like the classic brands that do come in plastic pods. And lastly, Blue Land also is known for their laundry detergent, what is that called? Tablet. Something I would really like to look into making a swap for that someone actually mentioned in my previous sustainable swaps video is stainless steel or glass to go containers when you go to restaurants. There are a lot of different brands you can use for this, but the Eco Lunchbox is something that I've been looking at possibly getting. It is just a stainless steel stackable to go container, whether that be for your lunches or if you're going out to eat and you want to bring leftovers home. I think a lot of us forget about the amount of plastic that we actually bring home or styrofoam that we use when we bring home food from restaurants, and being able to reduce that by bringing your own containers with you can be a small change that once you get into the habit of doing it, can be very impactful. This is something that I have not made the swap to yet though, so I will probably try implementing this, and I'll let you guys I'll give you updates on how it's going for me and if it feels like a good fit for my lifestyle. One more thing that I forgot to mention about as far as bathroom products goes are toothbrushes. Most toothbrushes are plastic and we're putting that like directly in our mouth on the daily. I personally have started using a bamboo toothbrush toothbrush. I know some people don't like those though. They don't feel like it gives like the deepest clean. So a brand you could check out is Surrey, which is, I believe, a aluminum, completely recyclable toothbrush. So when you have to get rid of the toothbrush head to change it out, you can recycle it properly. And that seems a lot better of an alternative compared to a plastic toothbrush. Now we need to talk a little bit about natural fibers in clothing. This is a change that I've been trying to make for the past 2 years, is switching most of my closet over to natural fibers. Now I still have polyester or just synthetic fibers in some of my clothes because I'm not going to just throw them away. I think the most sustainable thing I can do right now is wear them until they can no longer be worn and then repurpose them so that they don't end up in the landfill because they are just going to sit there. But on top of that, when I do get new clothes, which is very rare, I shop secondhand and I look for materials like linen, cotton, and wool. These break down a lot faster. There's actually videos on the internet now of people putting linen, cotton, or wool pieces of clothing in their compost pile in their backyard or underground and checking on it, and almost 100% gone, which is really cool to see how quickly it is broken down compared to, let's say, a polyester shirt. So while I think that if you are buying new or you are thrifting your clothes, which hopefully we are in a position where most of us are trying to shop secondhand first, looking for natural fibers can be very important. They can be more breathable. They can react better with your skin. As someone with sensitive skin, when I wear a 100% polyester shirt, I get rashes, my skin burns, I smell bad, and I don't usually smell bad, but the polyester just makes it stink really bad, and I don't like that. But that doesn't mean to just throw away those polyester pieces. Try to give them proper use whilst trying to implement more natural fibers if you are looking to buy pieces for your closet. Along with natural fibers for day-to-day clothes, considering things like washable pads, a menstrual cup, and period underwear that don't have plastics in them or are not bleached can be something to consider. I have only recently started doing this. I like Cora's pads. Tampons I haven't really found an alternative for, so I've kind of just been sticking to pads, and then I've tried period underwear. It's okay. It's not like my favorite, but I like it for nighttime, so I don't have to feel like a pad when I'm sleeping. But I think that that's something that like each person kind of has to play around with and figure out for themselves. So those are all of my ideas and things that I implement in my life for plastic-free or reduced plastic living. Let me know in the comments something that you do to reduce your plastic use, and if you think that you will implement any of these. Let me know what your favorite idea I gave you was. And I again just want to shout out Chagrin Valley Soap and Salve because their products truly are amazing. I'm going to be using these every single day. Check out the link in my bio if you want to check them out. If you did like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and turn on post notifications so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. Join the membership if you want more videos from me. And with all that being said, I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.